Hi everyone, my name is Shai, and I do guitar and vocals for the band Ash. So, the story behind the band name Ash. After a rehearsal with one of the previous incarnations of the band, we went to a bar to pick a name out of a list that we compiled, and there was a tie between two names. Ash was one of them, and we picked the other one. And after thinking a bit, we chose the name Ash. The word Ash in Hebrew means moth. So yeah, nothing too special, I'd say. So the creative process behind Sham, basically either Anton, the other guitar player at the time, or I, we came up with riffs and then we played them on top of each other, and then the drummer joined in, and then the bass player joined in. Regarding lyrics, I wrote all the lyrics. I had some before, and some were written throughout the songwriting process. And yeah, it just came out naturally, and riffs were joined, and sections were made, and the album was recorded after all. The themes we explored in this release were basically mostly themes of urban degradation, societal degradation, uh, urbanization in general, society in general. There was one song which is more like a spiritual manifesto ish, I'd say. But all in all, it's mostly about urban issues, about how society degrades with time, how architecture influences society, and yeah, and eco conservation too. The last song is about it. So, regarding the album cover, we played a gig in Tel Aviv at this warehouse-ish place, and it's full of pretty tall buildings surrounding it, and that's one of the themes the album lyrics deal with is also tall glass buildings and modern architecture and how it influences things. So we had a good friend of ours, Maria, which is an excellent photographer. She took some band pics and she took some pics of the surrounding buildings, and we cropped one of the pictures she took, and that's basically the album cover. It's pretty industrial-ish, I'd say. It's not very common for the genre, but it doesn't really matter, obviously. It's pretty cool. It conveys the album's lyrical themes and vibe pretty much. So yeah, it's cool. We really like it. We're really proud of it too. And yeah. In my opinion, is having a label deal crucial in today's music industry? I'd say as long as you keep your artistic values and your musical preferences, then you're good. It's always nice when someone backs you up financially. But if you're independent, it's cool too. If your music is good, then it doesn't really matter, in my opinion. When did I first start listening to death metal? That was about middle school, I'd say. Some metalhead people I knew introduced me to it. I haven't really paid attention to it up until a few years later, in which it really clicked. It's one of my favorite genres of music right now, obviously. And yeah, it's been nice seeing the musical progression through the years, and it fitted in really well. If I could change anything about the current music industry, and what would it be? I'd say labels nowadays don't take as many risks as before. Uh, like what happened with my Bloody Valentine's Loveless. The label went bankrupt and paid like £500,000 for just the recording of the album, which is crazy. But then it turned out as an absolute masterpiece. So take risks. They are risks. They sometimes work out for the better, sometimes for the worse, but they're always cool. So why not? Have I encountered any memorable fails during live performances? Since Ash is my first gigging band, uh, and the first one in which I do vocals and guitar simultaneously, it was pretty nerve wracking at the beginning, I won't lie. I started shaking up at gigs, and I was like, "Ugh," all gig long. And I don't know if the audience could feel it, but I definitely felt it. But then after building like this gig routine, it stopped, luckily. So yeah. Are there any recent music or movies that have deeply impressed me? I'd say the new Portrayal of Guilt album, definitely album of the year. It fucks hard. The experimentation is incredible, and the non-experimental side is just as great. The songwriting is tight. The riffs are badass. The lyrics are great, and overall, the energy. It's just pure energy. That record, incredible stuff. Shout out to Portrayal of Guilt, incredible album. Can you describe the current death metal scene in Israel? It's pretty tight knit. People are open minded. The music is cool, and people are generally supportive one of each other. So it's nice. People give out tips to bands, and everyone chips in when there's a gig happening and everything. So it's been chill. Uh, my top death metal album of all time and why? Lycothea, Flame, Elvenifris. The riffs are incredible. The atmosphere is really refreshing and it's really nice. The lyrics are very well thought and it's just a really interesting album. The vibes are great. I have some great memories attached from it as well, so that helps. But overall, it's like a perfect album. Like it has a story, it has context to everything, and it's great. It's honestly great. The best death metal album cover art ever. Obviously, Pungent Stench, Been Caught Buttering. If your answer is not that, please go check it out and tell me if I'm wrong. Thank you. Is there a death metal song or album that deeply resonated with me? I'd say Cynic Focus. Obviously, the lyrics are incredible. And again, it's very well written and the atmosphere is incredible, but the lyrics are what make this album stand out. In a sea of gore and, murder and everything death metal did at that time, these guys were intellects and it's a very smart album. It's like very forward thinking without being too snobby or off putting. So it's great. How does the lyrical content impact my appreciation of the genre? We've been way past pure gore and murder and everything lyrics. I'd say it's fun. It's fun, but it's LARPing. Music should come from the heart, in my opinion. And yeah, like, if you write an album, like, take your time, write good lyrics, and it will make the album so much better, in my opinion. Better lyrics make a bad album better, always. So, what plans there are for the future of Ash? New songs, obviously. The direction of the music is going to be a bit different. There will still be killer riffs, obviously, and cool lyrics, but it will be a bit proggier, a bit more abstract, a bit more, I'd say, less, no power chords, obviously, and yeah, lots of fun. So, stay tuned. Go check out death metal promotion for super cool music, lots of death metal, tons of riffs, and yeah, they showcase lots of cool bands from all around the world. We're obviously super talented, and you wouldn't have heard of otherwise. So do them a favor and listen to some fucking death metal. Thank you for having me again.